YouTube channel. My name is Ola Olaleye, your host. I have with me George Ta. George is my friend. I've known George for a long time now, about 16 years, and it's been an amazing journey with George. But before I go on, George, if you don't mind, I'm going to quickly go on Facebook and just share the broadcast, if that's okay. And we'll wait for people to join in. So this is Wordzone with Ola Olaleye. If you've not subscribed yet, I want you to do that right now, right now. So, wow, Judge, how are you doing? Did you watch the match?
Yeah,
Let's start from
I
there.
tell you what. Yeah, I'm not a very big football fan, but I watch this kind of international occasions. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did watch the match. Messi deserved to win.
Mm.
Messi deserved to win. I think for the Argentina team, Messi deserved to win, and because he's tried so much, yes, and
Oh,
it's
nice.
about consistency. I'm sure we're going to come to that later
Yeah,
on. Right?
absolutely.
Yeah, but it's about consistency and
Wow.
believing.
Wow, nice, nice. Wow, I watched it as well, and I didn't know the team I was supporting. At first, I was on France. I always go with the winning team. So, but
And
now
most
I,
people do that. Yeah,
I
yeah,
always go with the winning team, even
mm,
if all these Premier Leagues and all that. My son will ask me, "Mom, which team are you?" So I said, "You know me. Any team that wins is my team." So,
yeah,
wow, they did well.
yeah.
Congratulations to Argentina. I think that's after 26 years. I read that somewhere.
Mhm.
That is amazing. And for those of you who are Argentina fans, congratulations to you. Okay, so let's dive into this. I cannot wait to hear you speak, George. Okay, so my viewers will want to know who George Ta is. George, I must confess to you, when I saw your bio, I said, no, I'm not doing this. Where am I going to put all this? I told this guy I wanted short profile, and he gave me these, but 2 pages. I said, no, 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 he's going to do it himself. So, George, can you briefly tell my audience who George Ta is?
Yeah. Thank you, Ola. As you said in your intro, we've known each other for over 16 years, and it's not the reason why I'm on your show. I
No.
think the reason that I'm on your show is because I feel like you are the right person to ask me the right questions and for
Wow.
people to understand me.
Hmm.
Um, because there's a lot of misconception of when once you take one step. I'm not saying success. I'm saying when you
Hmm.
take one step, a lot of times people want to interpret you. You know,
Hmm.
but let me say, I'm I was born in Cameroon.
Hmm.
I grew up in Cameroon until I was about 23, 24. Um, and I moved to Scotland in 2004.
Hmm.
And, when I moved there, when I moved here to Scotland, I was, everything that I've known about my life was about working in a nightclub as a DJ, because I was a popular DJ then in Cameroon. But and one thing that moved me to Scotland was my passion, my humility to be able to integrate and support people.
Hmm.
And I think one thing that I did not mention in my bio that I sent to you, which you wanted the short one, but I could not send you a short one because I wanted you to know my full story. Because
Yeah.
I know that you part of that story is part of something that you've lived and you
Hmm.
can testify to that. But you know, it was love. It was, humanity that brought me to have a connection with Scotland till today. And I
Wow.
maintain that relationship because it was very important to maintain that relationship because of the fact that, see, what taking interest to other people,
Hmm.
whether they are facing what kind of challenges. And you don't have to be a millionaire to solve people problem.
Hmm.
Yes, you just have to be a human being and to
Hmm.
think about how you solve people problem.
Wow. Nice.
Yes. And the person that I'm telling you that made me to discover Scotland that I live in today is just because of my human approach of their challenge that they were facing at the time. And
Wow.
yeah. So in a nutshell, I was born in Cameroon. I moved here when I was 23. I was turning 24. And then since then, the rest is history. But yeah, I'll hear from you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. And one thing that has come up, like it did last time, you know, last week,
Hmm.
when Enoch sent me his bio,
Hmm.
and he said the first thing he said there, Enoch Adeyemi is a human being, and you was also saying it right now that it's your love for humanity
Hmm.
that is what has brought you to Scotland. I know that, you were asking me what's going to be the format of this. And I told you, look, George, you and I have come a long way. So we are just going to talk like two friends and
Hmm.
people are going to listen to our conversation. So that's the direction we're going to go today. So could you tell us a bit about what do you mean by it was your humanity that brought you to Scotland? Because as a Cameroonian, living in Cameroon, enjoying your life as a DJ, a popular DJ, young,
Hmm.
you were young, you were 23, you were already making a wave in Cameroon, and you relocated to Scotland because of your humanity, you said. Could you just let us into that a bit, if you don't mind? What exactly was this humanity thing? Because maybe when I start doing the humanity thing, it can catapult me to Canada.
No, I started off saying that. Listen, you as as a friend, you're the
Hmm,
right person to ask me the right question because I
hmm,
can express myself to you very
hmm,
much. I know you, I know about yeah, I know your family, you know me, you know my story. So it's like But let me come to their question.
hmm,
The humanity thing is this is what it is. I was working in a nightclub in
hmm.
Cameroon, right? And then there was somebody that is a foreigner that came to the nightclub and wanted to get access to the nightclub, but they did not know anybody.
Wow.
So they met one of my friends that live around the place, and they knew me. And then my friend called me up. I'm talking about when mobile phone just started.
Yeah.
And he called me up. He said, "Oh boy, I don't have any money. Oh. You understand? But there's this person that I've met that they want to come to your nightclub. You know that nightclub that you work in is very expensive." I say, "Listen, you people should come." I don't know who that friend is.
Hmm.
I did not know anything. When they came there, then he showed me a girl from Edinburgh. That girl became my wife after for 7 years, by the way. But I have to say that. Um, you know, so and when they came to the place, and I said to my friend, I said, "No, no problem. You people come in and get that like normal. I know that my friend doesn't have the same privilege that I had because as a
Hmm.
DJ, I had a lot of privileges. He doesn't have that. So I said to him, come, bring your friend. That's fine. How many are you? He said, three of them. I said, no problem. Come. So he came with his girlfriend and the friend that came from Edinburgh and himself. I went to the gate to the door and said, "Let these people in." And when they came in, I gave them a drink. So what happened after that was this woman, this girl from Edinburgh, could not understand why somebody can be so generous,
Hmm.
because I gave them a drink, which is in an expensive nightclub. I was working in a very expensive nightclub. That's true. And my friend, I told them, and he told them that I don't have money. I cannot afford that kind of nightclub. But he had phoned me. I said to him, come. So the point here is, because of the humanity that I put into that, that is what made me to be where I am now.
Your generosity.
My generosity, thank you, my sister. My generosity was the fact that, because I had privileges, like in a nightclub, where I was working, I could get a few drinks
Hmm.
to my guests.
Hmm.
And I did all of that. I sacrificed all those drinks to my guests. And my guests were that my friend and the other people that came. That a girl from Edinburgh came back and started finding out who is this guy that is so generous. He did this, he did that, he did this, and stuff like that. Sorry, you can see from my background there, the, the madam at the
Okay.
lady. Yeah. But
Um,
listen, I'm on a live show, Bama. Yeah. So, but this is the point, Ola, is the fact that I did not do anything intentional. I was
hmm.
doing something or expecting, you know.
Wow.
Yes,
I
I did
get
not do.
that.
No, not at all. But what I was shocked about was that what the lady in that group that came from Edinburgh was coming to look for me where I
Wow.
was, but I wasn't there. And then they will tell her that no, George is not here. George is coming. George only comes here certain times of the day. If you want to come on a Thursday afternoon where he's coming to practice or something like that. Or you come on a Friday night that the club is full on. You
And you
know?
will see him.
Yes. And when she came, when we finally met, and she said to me, I just came to thank you so much for your
Wow.
humility, and for all everything that you did. Your friend, my friend, told me what you did.
Wow. Wow. That's so good. So your generosity propelled her to supporting you to coming to the UK. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
And
And
you
right up to today is my biggest fan.
wow, wow, that's amazing. That's good. Well done, George. Well done. And when I met you in 2006, I remember when I met you, I was surprised when they even said that George is a Cameroonian. I was even up till now. I sometimes I remind myself that George is a Cameroonian. George is a Nigerian because I was surprised.
Yeah.
I remember the first day I heard you play as a DJ.
Hmm.
I used to know you as a DJ, and I
Yes.
heard you play, and three-quarter of the songs were Nigerian songs. I'm like, this guy is in Nigeria. They said, no, he's not Nigerian. And all your friends are Nigerians. I said, no,
Yes.
George is not Nigerian. George is a Cameroonian. And I said, okay. So, but later on, I noticed that you've transitioned from being a DJ and now you're doing something else. And before you got into the something else, before I go into that, before you got into that, you had a lot of phases.
Hmm.
You went through stuff. You went to school as well. Can you tell us about that? Because you started studying something, then you were like, no, this is not for me. And it takes courage to
Yeah.
know that, look, this is not me, man. I don't care what people are going to say. I'm just going to do me. So, could you tell us about that journey of school? Don't go into what you're doing now first. Just tell us about the journey of school because I know that your journey is not straightforward.
No, no, you're right, Ola. And the beauty about and I think to anyone watching this or listening to this, honestly, um, it's not easy, you
Hmm.
know. But I made the decision Remember, I've come to this country. I'm 24-year-old, to be honest.
Mm,
So there's a bit of vulnerability and adulthood
mm,
that's walking around that. So it's about questioning yourself. The reason why I went to school is because I needed to fulfill the dreams of my parents.
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
But do you know that even though I was thinking that I'm going to fulfill their dreams, now they were not making decision on what me I'm going to study. Like they're going to say, you're going to be an accountant, you're going to be a doctor. No. Because now I'm a grown man that at that time that I'm going to make a decision of what I'm
Mm,
going to do. But I wanted that satisfaction
mm,
for that if I phone my mother or father and I say to them, I have completed university, will be good. But most importantly for me was to build my capacity,
mm.
build my ability to face the world.
Wow.
Yes. So how do I? There's no other way I can build my capacity to feel to be able to face the world challenges
Mm,
than education.
wow.
Let nobody fool you that
Wow.
yes, let nobody fool my sister that listen, without education you can make it. There are very, very few people that can face the world challenges, can face everyday challenge without preparation, without
Mm,
education of that you have the capability of able to challenge a thought.
mm.
And for you
Yeah.
to be able to challenge a thought, you have to have a reason.
Yeah.
And where is that reason going to come from? The wisdom going to come from books, from reading, from
Exposure. Mhm.
exactly, you know. So you cannot be any of those things. And importantly for me personally was you have not had the opportunity to educate yourself
Mm,
because you've not come from a family where they can support you to be able to educate yourself to the level that you want.
mm.
This is the opportunity. And I
Wow.
did. Yes, I did exactly that. So I started studying community development. It wasn't the idea stuff. I went in there. It was crazy. It was like policy, this, that, policy. I said, I don't want to be counselor. I don't want to be in politics or local politics. I beg. I just want to be able to share stories. You
Mm,
know? Yes. And they I moved on to kind of journalism and broadcast journalism and something like that. And that's where, and I was lucky. I was lucky because um I when I was in that transition, there was an opportunity that opened up at the BBC Scotland for traineeship. And I applied for that and I was successful and I went into it. And that's where I discovered that this is where I really want to be.
wow. 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 So did you finish the broadcast journalism?
Yes, I did. I have a degree in broadcast journalism.
Wow.
And yes, uh, I don't really rely on that very much now because I think there is more to it. But for me, it was self-fulfilling to
Mm,
satisfy myself and to give confidence for me to tell to my parents that I've done this.
wow. Wow, Judge.
Thank you.
Daddy's boy. Well done. Well done. Well done, you.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank
the
you.
training journalism, when you went into BBC,
Mhm.
the internship, right? You went into internship with BBC. And
Yeah.
I know that that can be very, very rigorous. The process of getting in can be very rigorous.
Mhm.
But you were lucky enough to get in. And when you got in, you discovered you, that part of you that you felt this is me. And Was that the beginning of your new journey? Was that where you discovered you and you started doing this amazing thing that we all know about today, moving from DJing? When did you even stop that? I don't even know. When did you, or you still doing?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. But I stopped in 2010,
Okay.
DJ. Yes. But you know, what I'll say, Ola, as a friend, and I want to share this with everybody, is I was brought up a Christian.
Hmm.
I was brought up in a home that is strictly, very strictly Christian. And my mother could not believe, that me, I work in a nightclub. They did not accept that concept, that idea. You know, my mother degraded everything that concerned my job. You know, like she could not even believe it. Like what the hell is going on? Like all my prayers are not answered. You know, that's what my mother said. Because if I interpret this to you, when my mother heard that I was a DJ in a nightclub, you know, she just said you are completely useless.
Wow.
Do you know? And then even when I went and show and I went to my mother and I said to her, it looks like I'm gonna be traveling abroad. And she said, no, you are joking. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to regain your integrity. But no,
Hmm.
you are a failure completely.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I arrived in UK before I phoned my mother, and my mother said, for real. But
Wow.
let me go deeper to that story. I'm not hiding anything here. Because you're my friend, I can speak to you. I would have done this in private, but I have to do this in public because I think a lot of people need to understand.
Yeah.
See, when before I left DJ, nobody asked me. I walked out. I had developed my DJ career at the extent that I had people that are promoting me. They say, "Oh, Josh is gonna be here. Josh is gonna be doing this. Josh is gonna be doing that." They pay me my money. I'm cool. So on the 31st of December 2010, I walked
Hmm.
out of the nightclub in Glasgow, and then I stood outside the pavement. Something hit me
Hmm.
and said to me, "You cannot come back here." I turned around and said to my promoter, "I'm not going to come back to the nightclub." The next time I come back to the nightclub, it just come to socialize. I'm not going to be a DJ anymore.
Hmm.
He thought I was joking. Yes. And when I left on that 31st, 31st is on the 1st January 2011, I was in church for the first time for 15 years. 15 years. you know. So I went back to the church for 15 years.
Wow.
Yes. So what was happening to me? I did not
Wow.
I did not know. So I went back to the church, and whilst I was in the church, this is what happened. Yeah. I was sitting there, to be honest with you, I was crying.
Wow.
There was tears coming down my eye. I've missed everything. I've messed up my life completely. Meanwhile, I've not. But it's just the fact that I have not had the success,
Yeah.
you know. Then I was crying. I don't know that person till today, but there was a hand that touched me, tapped me at the back, and gave me a Bible. And I opened up that Bible. From that day, I say I will never, as I said, I'm not going to go back to the nightclub. I'm not going to go. And that's it. I stopped everything. All the people that they booked me for their wedding, christening, and everything, I refunded their money. And God made it possible. God made it possible that I could refund all of them.
Wow.
Yes, that's why nobody can say today that Josh took my money. You know, yes,
Wow.
nobody can say that today that Josh took my money and did not DJ or did not do this thing. No, because I
Wow.
refunded all that money. God made it
It's
possible.
amazing. Wow.
So to answer your question is when God has a plan for everybody,
Yeah.
we can go astray, but it doesn't make God change direction.
Wow. Preach.
I can't preach to them anyway because you know me, I'm not pastor, so yeah.
George, your story, as you were speaking, what came to my mind was the story of Paul,
Mhm. Yeah.
Saul that used to Paul that used to be Saul, when God encountered him on his way to Damascus and
Hmm.
God stopped him and rerouted his journey. And
Hmm.
that's exactly your story. And I didn't know this part of your story.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know.
I didn't know this part of your story, but it's so powerful that even though you were doing so well, you thought you were doing so well, but there was still something missing. There was still
There's a
something,
lot missing in my life. Yeah.
yeah, and you knew it inside
Yeah.
of you. You
Yeah.
knew it, but it took God changing that direction.
Yes.
Bailey, you better mind yourself.
The Bible is my sister,
I
she
know, I
she
know, I
knows where
know.
we are. It's a prayer altar. You cannot beat it. Yeah. And this is something that a lot of people will not know, how
Mm,
prayerful is, except when I post things. I get people phoning me like, we don't know that you are that, that Christian, that religious, and
mhm.
stuff like that. Because the perception of me has been this DJ, you know, and and the perception of me is like they being a DJ. No, Ola, and I'm sure you must have asked yourself, like, all the girls and women that I have known in Glasgow, why did I not get married to any of them?
I didn't even think of that, George. When you told me you were getting married, I was just excited for you
Yeah,
because marriage is personal. You can choose your wife from anywhere.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
didn't I didn't even bother about that, but
yeah.
I'm glad, I'm happy for you, George, and I'm happy for your story. I thank God for giving you such an amazing story. Thank God for your journey. Thank God for your background. Thank God for your mom.
Mm,
Because even though sometimes as mothers we might say the wrong things, but
mm.
I know that mothers do it out of love. And
Yeah,
we pray for grace, for God
yeah,
to continue to season our tongues with grace so
yeah.
that we'll know
Let me
how
not forget.
to.
Let me not forget
Mhm.
because my late father was a very prayerful man as well.
Okay.
A very prayerful man. Very
Oh, thank
prayerful.
God. Thank God that you had
Mhm.
prayerful parents. Thank God. And I'm so glad for your life. And today, leaving being a DJ has not totally, you've not, even though you've left being a DJ, you are still in the entertainment industry. And what God has done, and that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing about life. The enemy would know what God, he has an idea of what you're doing or what you're supposed to do, your purpose and all that. He, of course, he doesn't know everything, but he might have an idea.
Mhm.
And he now somehow distracts you from what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm.
But the Bible says all things work together for your good.
Mhm.
All things. So even being a DJ, the devil might have met. I'm not saying, and don't get me wrong, being a DJ is not a wrong profession. If that is what God has called you to do, come on. You don't have to be a DJ in a nightclub. You can be a DJ without being in a nightclub. So
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a DJ. So that's not what we are saying here. But in
Yes.
the case of George, we are saying that God has used the experience of being a DJ. And right now, George owns his own radio station. So
Mm,
how did that happen, George?
mm, mm, mm. You know, no, thank you for that question because that is a dream that's always been in me. Yeah. But I do not know how I'm going to achieve it.
Hmm,
I did not know anything. And I think, you know, the thing I was telling you about 2010 that I stopped DJing
hmm,
was because God has designed my life.
hmm,
There's a moment that you're going to be focused.
hmm,
Go and see the challenges that's out there.
hmm,
And because you are unique, so I've given you this unique knowledge. I've always thought about go and check in Shakra University website, the hotel. I've always thought about running a radio station. And
hmm,
I've tried it with different people. Unfortunately, there are certain things that this happened along the line. But let me arrive where I am now. It is not by I want.
hmm,
It is God's will.
hmm. Wow,
God
wow.
has designed me because He told God when I was a child, it was already destined. Let me tell you something that I share with a lot of people, my sister.
Hmm,
I don't sleep when the radio is not on.
wow.
The radio has to be on. When my wife met me 10 years ago, she was like, for real? And then later on, she got used to. Right now, she can stay with the radio because I explained to her that I need to know what's happening.
Hmm,
So I've always been a radio person. I said in 2016, at my interview at Strickler University, I said to them, I want to be able to run a media outlet, broadcast radio station that will promote the representation and visibility of people, of Black people in Scotland.
wow.
I said that in 2016 without having any platform.
Hmm,
Yes. And, it's God speaking to me,
hmm,
honestly. It's God speaking to me. I
wow.
don't know if I cannot say authentically if I hear God, but I think God pushes me to the direction that He wants me to be in,
Hmm,
that I will not even know, but He will make it so powerful that I will take my action.
hmm,
I'll make that physical,
hmm.
but I don't know.
Wow,
I do not know. So the question of asking me how I got here is because it's something that's always been in my brain. It's always
wow.
been in my mind, and I've tried it so many times with different channels. But the truth is, I think God knows why.
Hmm, wow.
I don't know. I cannot answer that question directly.
Wow, that is so good. Wow, wow, wow. You've always thought about having a radio station. You granted an interview about the radio station, and today you own Jambo Radio. And I know that before then you had worked with different radio stations,
Mhm.
and even if it didn't work out like you wanted, but you had picked up some things, some knowledge, and some skills from those radio stations. So, what kind of experiences? What were the lessons? Some of the lessons you learned, because somebody is here and the person wants to start off their own thing, but they're thinking, "Oh, where I am right now, I'm just wasting time." But I believe that there is no waste of time when you are working for someone or you're an apprentice somewhere, there's always something to learn. So, could you share one or two lessons that you picked up while you were working in other radio stations? I don't want to say, what didn't you like? Because I know we will leave here today. But, but what were the vital things that you learned from the other radio stations that has helped you start off your own radio station and is helping you keep it going?
Yeah. Thank you. That's a very important question because I want to start this question from explaining that, listen, when the only time that I've ever felt successful,
Mm.
yeah, is when I spent 3 years traveling the world.
Wow.
Traveling the world, honestly. Traveled Africa, 37, 34 countries. I traveled Middle East, you know, from Dubai, Kuwait to, and I traveled Europe is nothing.
Mm.
You know, I only gained that is because I stopped something
Mm.
that God has told me, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, has made me know that that's not where I want you to be. I want you to build something. Do you know the kind of people that I met? I met prime ministers. I met from you know, my reputation as a DJ is still there. But when I started this new approach in my career, I
Mm.
became that person that can speak to prime minister, president, and stuff like that.
That's when you moved from DJing into media.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
into media.
You
You
have
know,
not started Jambo. Sorry, guys. George is a new father, so please bear with
yeah,
us.
yeah, my baby is here. My baby is still crying.
Sorry,
And the mother
sorry,
is looking
sorry.
after. I'm not abandoning him, by the way. The
Yeah.
mother is there. The mother is there.
Okay,
Let me
okay,
just show you for her. The mother is
okay,
looking after her. He's
okay,
looking after
okay.
him. Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry for that. Okay, so you moved from DJing to media, but you
Yes.
have not started Jambo Radio yet.
No.
Okay,
No.
so these are part of the things that you got from working for someone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I was involved in the media. The first step was I went to work at BBC World Service, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started working for a Pan African channel based in London, Vox Africa, which is why the only time that I've moved out of Scotland was to go and work in London, and then I moved there, and I cannot lie to you, those 3 years were the most wonderful years
Mm.
that because they gave me a lot of experience. The reason I came back to Scotland was because I knew the initial things that I've started back then.
Mm.
Maybe we'll touch on that, but by Radio Kilimanjaro and stuff like that. But I realized that the vision was more important than anything else.
Mm. Yeah.
So I had that vision. But that vision only came when I left the nightclub.
Wow.
That vision had only come because I've led the nightclub. Even though I've always had that spirit in me that you're going to run a radio station, you're going to own a radio station, and stuff like that. There are a lot of people that can testify. There are a lot of my friends that will tell you that went to primary school, secondary school. They will tell you that, listen, Josh has always talked about this. But I did not know. At some point we've abandoned that conversation. It was me DJing. It was me being that kind of DJ,
Oh,
being popular, being everything,
so
But
popularity does not equal to purpose. That's
no, it did not. It did not.
oh,
Of course, in my case, it did not. You
yeah,
understand?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
So
did not.
someone, yeah, I needed to emphasize that. So someone being popular doesn't make them doesn't
No.
mean they're living in purpose. So you can be popular and be outside of purpose. So what is
Yes.
important is for you to find your purpose. And I have a question here from Bimbo Ali. She says, "Did you change your friends as a result of your decision? If yes, how did you feel? Did you have to change your friends?"
Well, Bimbo, thank you for that question. But let me tell you something. Yeah. popularity is. I was a very lonely man. Let me tell you
Hmm.
something. I was a very lonely person. Ola, you will know that I will come and DJ and everything. Everybody knows me. They will shout, "Oh, DJ," and stuff like that. Trust me, when I go back to my house, I'm on my own. Do you know the mental psychology that I was feeling? Nobody knows about it. You
Wow.
know, yes, I will live. I used to think that maybe if I live in the best flat, in the best house, in the best estate, it did not give me anything, nothing. You
Hmm.
know, yes, people that will come even for after party will hang out together, and trust me, they'll go, and then I'm left on my own. Whether it's a beautiful house or it's a crap house, it doesn't matter to them.
Wow.
Yes, I was a very lonely person, and nobody knew that. But let me go to the answer your question. You know, Bibo, what I can say to you is this: I did not change my friends. I changed my attitude,
Hmm. Come
and
on.
it's yes, your attitude will determine who want to be with you.
Wow. Wow. I like that.
Don't change your friends because if you go and tell your friend that, oh, me and you not friends anymore, or you're not answering their phone, they will create enmity, create a devil, you know, spirit of negativity. No,
Hmm.
what I did, I changed my attitude. If you call me, I say I know day. If you call me, I say okay, cool, I'm available. You understand? Change my attitude. That's the thing. A lot of people that were hanging out with me, they don't even know that I was going to university. Why? Because they're not interested to ask that.
Hmm.
They're interested to whether you're coming to Shayo, Subuk,
What's Shayo? Some of my friends who know what that is. Some of
uh,
the people here. To drink. That's what it means. To
go and
take
drink
alcohol.
alcohol specifically.
Alcohol. Yeah.
Yes, go and drink alcohol specifically. Yes. So Shayo is that's the thing. And you don't say it. So for me it was to change my attitude. I don't care about what you think about me. You understand? Ola, me and we don't have to communicate. You've told me about what you were trying to do as so many times, but the fact is it's about the attitude of everything. you know I don't have to. The perception that people, I don't know, but I think a lot of people had a lot of perception about who I am without even knowing me.
Yeah.
So I changed my attitude so that I cannot care about changing friends.
Yeah.
You are my friend, but if my attitude that I've changed does not resonate with you, please go away. It's okay.
Wow, I like that. I like that. So it's about you building your character. You don't necessarily have to change the friends.
No,
If you don't have so many, if you don't have things in common anymore, the friendship would automatically fall apart. That's what George is saying. It will
absolutely.
fall apart. If
Yeah,
we used to hang out in the clubs together before, and every time you call me now, I'm saying, "Oh, sorry, I can't attend the club. I can't attend the club." If you do that two, three times, four times, you just know that, oh, there's no point calling George this
yeah,
weekend. He's not gonna come. So it's about focusing on you, and that makes you focus on you, building yourself, building capacity, be working on your character, working on your relationship with God, and that would automatically affect every other thing around you. That is
yeah.
powerful, George. Thank you
Be
so, so
with you. Be with you. It's
much.
about you. This
Mm,
life will not both us together. No matter. You understand? Sorry, I have to say this. You understand? Even my siblings, no, we don't. You don't. Even your siblings, they born. They, except you are twins, so you
mhm,
understand. But if you are not, seriously, you are on your own.
mm,
Build your character the way you want to be. How do you want to be perceived?
mm,
You want to be respected. You understand? Change your attitude. Be yourself. You understand? And be the person that you want to be.
And every other thing will fall in place. Wow,
No,
thank you
who
so much.
want to be with you, they will come. Who don't want to
Mm,
be with you, they will not come. That's
yeah, yeah, true. Thank you, Bimbo. Thank you. We need more questions if you have more questions. So, how is Jambo Radio doing, George? How is Jambo Radio doing? When did you start Jambo Radio?
Jambo Radio started in April 2020, in the middle of the lockdown, by the way. You
Yeah.
know, but one of the things that me are very, 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 very humble about what has happened to Jambo Radio. Honestly, when I talk about it, it's so passionate. But listen, this is what has happened. Jambo Radio has met success that I never expected.
Mm,
People that are in the community,
mm.
our people, have made Jambo Radio to be a success. Um,
Wow.
and yes, let me tell you, we are hitting right now. We are on, say, I mean, what you said in a brief there was like want to be in DAP in Glasgow and in Edinburgh and every city in Scotland. That demand is increasing.
Wow.
So the only way that demand is increasing from Scottish local people is because they are seeing the importance of what we are doing.
Mm,
We are
wow.
part of this country. Me and you can say, Ola, maybe 16 years ago, would have said, if I make small money here, I will return to Africa. 16 years later, 20 years later, we are still here.
That's
We
right.
have children. We are having children in this country.
Mm,
Your child cannot follow you to go and pursue inheritance in Africa. Why? You understand? Let's not fool ourselves. You understand? Let's not
mm,
fool ourselves. Let's make it that is possible. You know, let your son or your daughter should be able to take over the show and start interviewing the next judge,
mm, mm,
not me. You understand?
mm.
So we have to make it sure. We have to make sure that we know that we have to build a legacy.
That's right.
And to build that legacy, you have to have, you know, people that you have to expose people, you have to expose people to the opportunities. And
That's
to
right.
expose people to the opportunities, you're exposing them to the representation. You're interviewing me now. People might say, oh, that's Ola's friend. That's true. But the fact is, there are so many things that this part of the life that I lived before that Ola knows. But there's certain things that I can say here that she never knew it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the reason why you're here is because of what you're doing now.
Yeah, Jambo Radio.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't like to talk about Jambo Radio very much because I think there's a lot of people that are working more for Jambo Radio than me.
Yeah, but you will talk about it because is Jambo Radio is your baby. Is your
Yes,
baby. And Bimbo has asked the question. He said, how many nations has Jambo Radio reached? Do you have a data for it? George will
yes,
have data. Ah, George.
of course we do. Yeah,
So how many nations have you reached?
let me tell you, we are um, reaching globally. We are reaching about uh, in Africa. We already have like about um, 10 nations. And then in Europe, so we're about 40 nations.
14 nations. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That we're listening to online.
Yeah.
But remember, our target is not the online audience that are scattered everywhere.
Mm.
Our target is the people that live here.
Wow.
And when we're reaching here, I can tell you now, we are reaching 3,000 people for audience every month
In Scotland.
in Scotland alone. Yes.
Wow. Wow, wow. And also getting my friend, my friend Elo, she has a radio
Yeah,
station as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when Elo was
She's not only our friend, or she's our friend.
so when Elo is my sister. So when Elo was applying for the DAB, or she was called to register for
Mm,
DAB,
mm.
she was the one explaining because she was trying, I'm not into this media thing with you guys.
The
So she was
business side, you're not on the business side.
yeah. So she was the one that was trying to explain it to me, the importance and all that, how big that is. And when she got it, I was so excited. And I then saw you got it as well. I was like, yes, we are making impact. And it's so good for us as a community that people can be in their cars. Excuse me. Now, Elo has gotten the one for Glasgow and Edinburgh, so
Yes.
people can be in their cars and be listening to her song, like be listening to Jambo radios. These are radio stations for us and by us. We, this is just amazing. We didn't have this 16 years ago in Glasgow. I've been living in Glasgow for close to 17 years now. We didn't have this in Glasgow. We didn't have this in Edinburgh. This is new for us as a community, the Black community in Scotland. And I think it's something we all should celebrate. We all should shout about it. And you recently won an award, or you were nominated for an award. I can't even remember which one. You won it, right? Or
Yeah,
recognition.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well, you know,
honestly, that's just amazing. We're doing great.
mm, you know what, my dear Ola, you've touched the point there. Like Iloho is our sister. It's not your sister alone. It's our sister.
Okay,
You
okay.
understand? And I communicate with her, of course. I communicate with her all the time. And I look for things. The thing that I'm trying to say here is, 16 years ago, we did not have this.
No.
The empowering voice
Hmm.
of our different people, you know, Eloha has come in and choose a path
Hmm.
where she can empower the gospel,
Yeah.
the everything,
Mm-hmm.
that has to do with that. And I applaud her. You know what? Me and my in-law are always talking. I say, listen, carry gospel show, do it for Jambo Radio.
Wow. Wow.
Because Jambo Radio is neutral.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand? But me, as a person that oversees what Jambo Radio is, I believe in my faith.
Yeah. That's right.
I would like to hear that.
Yeah. That's
You
right.
understand?
We'll make it
I would like,
happen.
yeah, but I don't want that it's me that's pushing it. Because Muslim people will ask me the same question.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make you understand that this is a neutrality that I have to make sure that it's falling, so that people that are doing music show and stuff like that, I say, I've spoken to Iloho and I told her precisely what I think is important,
Yeah. Good.
and
Good.
she say, we need to meet. You understand? We'll do all of that. So
Okay.
because there's a in the 2023, it's going to be big for me and her.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah,
agree.
but
And
no, no, not me and her. Sorry, sorry. Let me make it very clear, because sometimes her husband could be listening, or my
no,
wife is
no, no shaking. Don't
with the
worry.
connect something. But let me make it very clear.
It will be big for the radio stations.
The radio station,
Yeah.
her
We
song
know. We
and
know.
Jambo
We
radio.
know.
No,
Yeah.
you know, but not everybody know.
We know, Judge. Don't go there. We know until the things appear.
Okay, but
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so the point I'm trying to say is, you see, we have to be the examples of what our community is expecting.
Yes, yes, yes. We have to play that pace setter role for
Yes.
everyone in the community to see. And we're doing so well. We can
Mm.
do better. We will do better, but we're getting there. We're
Mm.
getting there. All right. There's a question from Princess. It says, What advice would you give to a young person with a passion for radio and broadcasting? You meet someone. Wait, George, please make it brief because we're running out of time.
Okay, volunteer.
Hmm.
Volunteer a lot. I built my career in
Wow.
volunteering. Let me tell you something. No, collaboration comes when you're already in at the top. But volunteering, I built my career volunteering, and I built. You know what? When that happened, the 3 years that me I spent as a professional, you understand, travel the world are the best 3 years. Why? Because I had the capacity. From where? Volunteering.
Volunteering. Wow. Wow. Honestly, volunteering cannot be overemphasized. Sometimes you don't get paid for it. Sometimes it's
No,
as if
most of
you're
the volunteering
overworked.
is volunteering, no, my sister.
Yes, now.
Volunteering is volunteering. You understand? Yeah.
You sometimes you have to put in money. You know there are different kinds of volunteers now. We get people who come to us who want to volunteer, but their demands are even more than you paying them. They are
If you cannot,
asking.
if the people that are coming to volunteer, eh,
Mm,
that are not willing to sacrifice, trust me, it
mm,
will not happen.
yeah.
It will not happen. Your career will not happen. You understand? Your dreams will not happen. You will never make the money that you want.
Mm,
You understand?
wow. So the
You will never
willingness
achieve.
to serve is
No,
very
it's
key.
that is a fact, and I
Yeah.
know it from first hand because when I volunteered, despite everything, I had the most wonderful 3 years. Do you know what it means by traveling? That they are paying you.
Wow.
They
That's
are paying
amazing.
you. They are paying you a business class ticket to travel to other countries. They pay you 5-star hotel, and then they pay your salary is guaranteed.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So, Princess, if you know any young person who is interested in any field at all, any field, not just in media and broadcasting, they need to start looking out for volunteering opportunities and go and volunteer.
Yep.
And not just young people, even adults, people who have just relocated. You're looking. I know that most of the people who we just relocated, they want to grab the best of the United Kingdom, but the way to go up is to go down. The way up is to go down. You go down first, submit yourself, volunteer, learn the skills, build capacity, like George said. And honestly, the sky will be your starting point, not your limit. So, George, as we're rounding off, we have less than 2 minutes. What are the final words you have for my audience today? First, sorry, before you go on, let me say, please go on Jambo Radio, Jambo Radio. Go on Jambo Radio, listen, follow George on social media platforms, George Tar, and go on Jambo Radio. Start listening to Jambo Radio. Help promote Jambo Radio. We want to promote our own community, and that's why I'm showcasing people in our community because I really want us to promote what we're doing in this community. So, George, over to you. 1 minute.
My father, my father. My father, my father. You know what, Ola? Um, when you were saying that, let me just say the last one. I just feel like I should pray because I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
I feel like to pray.
Okay. Make sure your prayer is 1 minute though.
Yeah. You know, I everybody can succeed. I'm not a
Hmm.
successful man now. You
You
understand?
are. You
The only
are.
reason, yeah, no, I'm not a successful man now.
You are. You are successful.
Not yet, not yet.
You
God
are
has a
successful, George. Let's not argue here.
uh,
You are
listen, my sister,
successful. You are
the plan that
successful.
God has for me is bigger than what I am.
Yes, you are successful. Even if we can't see it, but we can see it in God, in you. You are
Amen.
successful. Okay, go on.
Amen. Amen. I want,
Don't
I,
mind though. This is me and George. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
George.
yeah, yeah. People will understand because we've already said that. You understand? Me and you are party. So, I wanted to pray but I think the message I have to send. Please, please, let us not give up.
Mm.
There is so much that we can do,
Wow.
and let's stop backbiting.
Mm.
But this is specific for certain people. But the most important thing is I am a winner.
Yeah.
I am a winner because seriously, if you know where I come from and where I am now, I am a winner. I am a winner.
Okay, George. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining in today. And George, thank you for being my guest. This is going to be the last word zone for the year. The next one will be next year on the 8th. So see you in January on the 8th of of January. I will be coming on with another guest. I don't want you to miss any episode in January, February, March. The first quarter is going to be explosive. I don't know what the second quarter is going to be like, but the first quarter will be explosive. The lineup of guests, you won't believe. So do not miss any quarter at all. God bless you so much, George, for coming. God bless you, everyone who has attended. Please go ahead and share this link, share this video. And please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, I'm begging you, do so. Give
Yeah,
it to me as
subscribe, oh, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
subscribe
Yeah.
to my channel.
Yes.
Please share it,
Mm.
publicize it. Go ahead, subscribe. Ask your people to subscribe. Thank you so much, Princess. Thank you, everyone who was joined in Bahili and Timoji, Bimbo. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Till we'll see you again. Take care.